right, they look for someone like that who's like, hey, boys, let's get it together. He's probably was one of the vocal leaders of that team. So when he stepped down, I think with Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, they're still young and green. They're probably not the ones that everybody's looking to right now. So I think they're also having a leadership problem.
Definitely. We're gonna speed through a little bit the remaining games of this past week. Patriots, Lions, Matt Patricia, the student versus Bill Belichick, the teacher. The student definitely taught the teacher several things, including that the teacher's team, quarterback Tom Brady, is unfortunately missing out on several people, including a guy named Edelson, and the rest of that offense was nowhere to be found. The defense was missing Trey Flowers, the pass rush wasn't there, and the turnovers really killed Brady. And the Lions, for the first time in 70 games, had a 100-yard rusher by the name of Kerryon Johnson. That's going back to 2013 right there. Oh, my God.
Yes, that's been a while. 5 years without a 100-yard rusher. You need to either revamp your running back situation or you need to fix your offensive line. Those are the two major keys that you don't get 100 yards rushing.
And it's the first time that the Patriots have lost back-to-back by double digits since 2002.
Ooh, that is a big stat. I bet you Bill is unhappy. The man normally looks grumpy even when he wins. I don't think it was a happy environment for them Monday and Tuesday after that.
Oh, no. And how about the fact that when they were driving down the field, Darius Slay had an interception in the game that pretty much prevented any comeback from taking place. Yeah. And you knew Patricia was going to take his knowledge from the 6 years that he was with the defensive coordinator with the Patriots, and he took that knowledge and used it against New England, and they won 26-10. Yes. Congratulations, Detroit. They needed that victory. They should have won week 2 if it wasn't for that stupid holding call on Quandre Diggs in San Francisco. They would be 2-1 right now.
Yes.
And had they not given up 33 unanswered points, against the Jets, they would have been undefeated.
Measly 33 points.
And speaking of 30 points and all that, the Redskins at home against the Green Bay Packers, and basically Adrian Peterson having 102 rushing yard performance, two-yard touchdowns on the ground, leads the Redskins to a 31-17 victory, and Aaron Rodgers is not as mobile as he could be, and he got knocked out 4 times in this game.
Oh, yeah, because right now, all defensive coordinators know that he's not mobile. It's like almost blood in the water. Every now and then, you have to start sending the sneak blitzes, and you have to get after him because he's not as mobile, and he can't shake off some of those big guys jumping on him. So they're going to come with the heat, and he's going to be having problems probably for the rest of the year until his leg fully heals, and that is even if it does fully heal. They don't let you know the full extent of the injury. But the man is a warrior, and he's going to go in there, get underneath the center. He's going to make it happen one way or another.
Without a doubt, and especially the roughing the passer penalty on Matthews. Even Alex Smith said that wasn't roughing the passer. So when the quarterback of the opposing team even says that right there, that tells you something, that it's bogus and they got to fix it. Now, Colts, Frank Reich, head coach of the Colts, going to his old team in Philadelphia, the Eagles, where he was the offensive coordinator, led them to the Super Bowl victory for the first time ever in their entire history. They go into the fourth quarter with a 16-13 lead after, 3 field goals from Adam Vinatieri on the day, who tied Morton Anderson's all-time record for most field goals in a career, 565.
Wow.
Morton Anderson, of course, Hall of Famer.
Yes.
The Duke, or the Great Dane, as they like to call him. And basically, let's set this up. Carson Wentz, first time since December of 2017 in the LA game where he tore his ACL, made his triumphant return. He got knocked around a few times, 5 times in the game, but he was still able to come back from all that.
Yes.
And what was great about this particular play, he throws a big 10-yard pass to Nelson Aguilar, and then eventually 4 plays later, Wendell Smallwood gets the game-winning rushing touchdown. They win 20-16. Congratulations to the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles needed that win.
In the game of true offensive attrition and defensive prowess, Titans-Jaguars, AFC South rivalry. The Titans have always had the best of the Jaguars, including in this particular game. And Ryan Suckup, 3 out of 4 field goals for the Titans, leads them to a 9-6 victory over a Jags team without their left tackle Cam Robinson, tore his ACL, no A.J. Cann on the right side of the line, no Leonard Fournette because of hamstring issues. Hopefully he's back this week. And Blake Bortles missing on several key throws, 8 penalties.
That's going to hurt you when you got guys and you miss the throws. I can understand if you make those throws and then the wide receiver pumps the ball with his hands or doesn't make the catch, then, hey, it's not on the quarterback. You put it in the target. But if you're missing the target, it makes it almost hard, and that's when you're going to start getting more interceptions.
Without a doubt. It's really like, it was a really terrible performance on both teams, honestly. Even Blake Bortles, Marcus Mariota came in to actually be in the game because he was technically the backup.
Yes.
And then Blaine Gabbert gets concussed in the first quarter, and Mariota only gets 100 yards. That's it in the entire game. Can't get a touchdown. Still having numbness issues in his throwing hand. He has to wear a special glove, but they still managed to pull off the victory, and they're 2-1 in Mike Vrabel's first year as the coach there. So that says something. 49ers, Chiefs. Unfortunately, Mr. Jimmy G, who got a $137.5 million deal because of the 5 consecutive victories he had in December of 2017, well, got taken out with an ACL tear in the fourth quarter. Done for the year, so good luck, San Francisco, for the rest of the season. As for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns on the day. He has now 13 touchdowns in 3 weeks with no interceptions.
No interceptions. That's unbelievable right there because he's tying some great ones up there.
Oh, yeah, and he broke Peyton Manning's
record.
That is outstanding right there. He's great. He's got a rocket for an arm.
Wow.
He really knows how to sling the ball, and he's being compared. There are a lot of comparisons to Brett Favre, and he's got a little bit of a Russell Wilson thing going for him, where he can make those long plays. He's definitely got he's got a bit of a power too, with a little Roethlisberger, a bit of
Big Ben, where it's hard to get him down when you get the guy grabbing and he only has one arm. When you got a big guy like Big Ben, it's like, get off me, and next thing you know, he's making the throw.
Oh yeah, and he's got a bit of Brady. He's got that Brady maturity, too. He's got all these quarterbacks in one. And you know what? I see why they traded Alex Smith. They have the future.
Yes, you have to go with it.
The future is now. And I know that's a bit of an NXT quote from WWE. Yes. The future is now. Battle of L.A., Chargers lose to the Rams 35-23, 3 touchdowns on the day for Jared Goff, 105 yards, and a rushing touchdown by Todd Gurley. And great performance right there. The Oakland Raiders lose the Miami Dolphins. Yet another game. The Raiders have a lead in the second half and can't finish. Albert Wilson, 52-yard passing touchdown and a 74-yard catching touchdown. Dolphins win 28-20. Dolphins are 3-0 for the first time since 1998.
Come on, Chucky. I need this one, Chucky.
And the Giants go into Houston despite the fact that J.J. Watt has his first sack since 2016. 3 on the day on Eli Manning. Eli still manages to lead the team to victory, 27-22. Saquon Barkley, the initial 15-yard rushing touchdown on their first drive of the day. What a performance right there. And now, and the Jets, of course, they lost Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yikes. Baker Mayfield. We're going to go into some Week 4 action on the bye, starting off with the Washington Redskins, Alex Smith.
I said it. The guy's going to play with a chip on his shoulder, reinvent himself. He's going to have the culture changed in Washington where they believe they can win, play hard, play gritty, and we'll get it done.
Carolina Panthers, all you need is Cameron Newton and Christian McCaffrey, and you got the offense right there. Everything takes care of itself.
Yeah, they're doing good without the tight end being out, Olsen.
I know, that
was shocking. When they lost him, I thought they were going to have a problem, but they're still getting it done.
They can get it done in so many ways, and when you have Cameron Newton, or I know Cam Newton,
Cameron.
Yeah, Cam. When you got him at 100%, the team is basically they're good to go. Vikings Rams last night. It was the first time the Vikings visited LA since 1993. This was exciting to see this game. But what was more exciting was Jared Goff. 2 of his touchdowns to Cooper Kupp. I love when the people in the comments say, Coop.
They get pumped.
Oh, and especially he hit him in stride. That touchdown he had, that was an indictment on the Vikings secondary.
You don't have to slow down. You don't have to speed up. When it's a perfect thrown ball and you're catching a guy in stride, writing the numbers, it's perfect.
It was beautiful. And how he just went down the field. And then to see Todd Gurley, he had another great performance on the ground. He had 83 yards rushing, 73 receiving. He is your all-purpose monster.
Oh, yes. Definitely, that's what you build franchises around. That guy is a straight animal. Hand him the rock, he'll get it done.
And then Brandon Cooks, he adds more spice to the team.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was a great pickup in the offseason.
New England, they couldn't keep him. He took off, and I'm telling you,
Stupid.
right now the Rams are loving every bit of it.
And the Rams did love it to a 38-31 victory, but you got to give it up to Kirk Cousins. He really had a great performance himself. It was unfortunate. It was several key plays, including the special teams. There was one instance in special teams, the block in the backfield that wasn't called, that should have been called on the Rams, and it wasn't. But other than that, the rest of the game was great. They won. They're 4-0. They're really on fire. They look like they're going to win. All right, here are the rest of the game. Saints visiting the Giants. I got the Saints winning by 3, and I give you my reason. Drew Brees. That's all. 2 words. Drew Brees.
I'm going to say I'm a Giants fan. Love them. Die hard. I think they're going to lose more than 3. I think it's going to be a 10-point. I think Drew Brees is going to start slinging the rock. I think for the first 2 quarters, the Giants' defense is going to hold them, but they're going to get tired. And I'm saying by the 3rd and 4th quarter, Brees starts getting them. You'll see something like a 30-21, 30-19 game.
I think it's going to be high scoring for the fact that especially the Saints secondary gives up 30-plus points. They've done that twice already this year, and I think Eli could possibly take advantage of that, but I think it's going to come down to Will Lutz field goal at the end of the day. I think it's going to be that type of close game. Jets visiting the Jaguars. Let's put it this way. The Jaguars defense, all Calais Campbell has to do is look for Isaiah Crowell. Even though Crowell had 2 touchdowns last week, I don't see the Jets winning.
I like the matchup between the corner and the Jets, the Agua.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's fast and he's big.
Oh,
and that's
Quincy Enua. Yeah,
Quincy Enua.
the receiver.
It's going to be nice to see him up against the Jacksonville corner. He's a big dude.
Oh, Jalen Ramsey, yeah. Big
That's going
mouth.
to be an awesome matchup because I don't think he's really dealt with anybody as big and as fast. Usually he's a little bit taller and he intimidates. So it's going to be a nice little matchup. The Jets might actually win that one.
Yeah, but I see that tight man-to-man coverage playing out in Jacksonville's favor, I think, this week. And plus, let's not forget, they only gave up 9 points last week against the Titans. I could see them doing that against the Jets again. I think they're going to really hold them to less than, 15. 10-point victory. I got the Jets winning. Chiefs visiting Broncos, Monday Night Football. I got Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdowns on the day, slinging it and having his first interception.
Yep, I was about to say that. I could definitely see him going 4-1, 4 touchdowns with a pick. And I'm telling you, I don't think Kansas City's showing signs of slowing down. I think Cleese has a great game over the middle, a little tight end action, and Travis is going to make some money today.
I can't wait. Just the offensive line, though, you better protect him from Von Miller because last week he had only 2 tackles, no sacks. He's pissed.
He's hungry.
He's hungry, and he wants a piece of Patrick Mahomes. But
Yes.
he's not going to be so easy, Von, to get him. I'm just saying, Von.
He's a big boy.
He's pretty elusive. Now, Dolphins, Patriots, a battle of the AFC East. And who would have thought the last time the Patriots could not win the title in the last 15 years was 2008 when Brady tore his leg against Kansas City Week 1. And it was a former Chad Pennington, who led the Dolphins to the division title that year.
I like Chad. Chad was good with the Jets, and then Chad took over in Miami. I remember that hit. I remember watching it where the guy jumped forward and hit him like in the shin.
Yep.
He went down and done. They even made a rule after that.
And that basically, that screwed New England, but good that year. Even though they managed to get, I think they still managed even 11 wins, but they still could not win the division that year. And Chad Pennington led them to victory for the first time ever in years. And what was
NFC East has been owned by New England for many, many, many years.
14 out of the last 15,
That's unbelievable.
And this time around, the Patriots are down 2 games. If they lose 3 straight games, it'll be the first time since 2001 this has happened.
I doubt that they are going to lose this one just for the fact of I put Bill Belichick against them. He's going to basically sit down and have them well coached up. His main goal in life is always taking whatever you do very well and shutting it down. You're going to always have to have a plan B, C, and D when you go against Bill Belichick.
So you got the Pats win this.
I have a Pats pulling, yes.
I got
Patriots pulling the win.
Well, I'm going opposite.
Hey,
I'm
this is
going.
what we're here for, baby. Controversy.
I got the Dolphins winning this by 10 points on the day. Cameron Wake is going to have 2 sacks on the day on Tom Brady. And not only that, they're going to really play disguising exotic blitz coverages, and they're going to give Brady a tough time.
Oh, he's going to get a tough time, but I'm telling you, whatever you do well, Bill Belichick always finds a way around it.
I know it's definitely going to be a fun, interesting game, but I definitely have the Dolphins pulling off the major victory that could possibly solidify them.
Wow, early in the season, I love it.
Ravens, Steelers, Sunday night battle, AFC North, 9 out of the last 13. By 3 points, it's been decided. Physical, battle, drama.
Both teams hate each other. It's always been a rock'em sock'em type of fight. Neither one, even if one team is doing very well and the other team's doing poor, for some reason, when these two teams meet, it always seems like a level playing field and everybody gets up to play this. You could be 7-0 and the other team could be 0-7, and I'm telling you, the 7-0 wants to stick it to the team, and then the other team wants to knock them down off their high horse. So anytime you have these two teams go at it, I love to watch it, but I'm going to go with the Steelers.
I got the Steelers too as well. I think James Conner will have that week 1 performance again against the Ravens. And on top of all that, Flacco right now against the Steelers defense, something tells me that he's going to get rocked around 3 times and I think picked off by Joe Hayden. I think Joe Hayden, especially if he's guarding, there's Willie Snead. There's several other receivers that they have. Yeah, if Michael Crabtree, he's going to be up against. I think he's going to definitely get the best of Crabtree.
Yes.
So I got the Steelers. Buccaneers, Bears. I don't think there's any mystery that Fitz is starting over James. If James is starting, then you should give this game to Chicago.
Yeah, I see the Bucs winning, and I see the Bears defense shutting it down. I see it being a very, very close game. I just see that Ryan Fitzpatrick, he lives and dies by the gun. He just hopes that Mac doesn't just truck him. I could definitely see some fireworks from the Bucs. The Bucs actually pull it out. Just barely, though. It's not going to be a blowout. We're talking last-second field goal or a last-second touchdown.
I got the Bears winning this by 7 points. And the matchup to look for is Prince Mukamura versus Deshaun Jackson. I think that's really going to be the fun matchup.
Prince was very good with the Giants. Then he moved on. So that's going to be an awesome.
Definitely. And you saw week 2 what he did for the Bears. He got the game-ending pick 6 against the Seahawks right there. So I think he will be able to match well with D-Jax and all that.
All right.
And then this coming week, Bengals visiting the Falcons. Honestly, I got the Falcons winning this. I think Matty Ice will this week. I think they're going to correct some of the things that they did on defense. The Falcons D is going to do what Panthers did last week. Definitely center on AJ Green.
Yes, you have to take him out of the game. You let him run wild into your secondary, it's going to be a long day and a lot of yards.
And when you do that, and especially with Joe Mixon not playing, and you got a terrible running game right there, you stifle them.
Yeah, Bernard is he's better at back by committee. I don't think he could take the ground and pound of a full game. He definitely needs his partner in crime, Mixon, so we'll see.
So you got the Falcons as well.
Yes.
All right, Eagles visiting the Titans. This is a very interesting matchup for several reasons because this goes back to 2015 when the draft took place. Remember, at the time when Chip Kelly was the head coach of the Eagles, they wanted to draft Mariota because Mariota, he played for Oregon. He recruited him 2 times, several Heisman Trophy right there. It was a great partnership. But the problem was Eagles had 20th. They were number 2 the Titans. They had to make a trade, and Fletcher Cox was the sweetener apparently in this deal. Well, that never took place, and thankfully they didn't because Fletcher was one of the reasons why
they won the Super Bowl.
And this coming week, with Mariota's throwing arm, I cannot see the Titans winning this. They barely won against the Jaguars this past week. I think the Eagles take them to task.
Oh, yeah. They take them to the whooping shed. I think this is going to be one of those games where the Eagles take off, hit the ground running, and by halftime, the door's already blown off, and they're calling up for mop-up duty.
Just look out for Wesley Woodyard and Drill Casey on that Titans D-line. If I'm the Eagles' offense line, make sure you do not allow them to get elusive because those guys are very, especially Woodyard last week.
Yes.
He had 12 tackles against the Jaguars, so definitely keep your eye out for him. Lions, Cowboys. Right now, for the Cowboys, they need this victory at home in the worst possible way.
I'm going the other way. I'm saying Detroit Lions actually go into Dallas, kick in the door, and Matt Stafford, he's going to get a few picks, but I think he's going to get a bunch of touchdowns on the secondary. So I definitely see Matt Stafford single-handedly pulling this one out.
I actually agree. I got the Lions, too. You got the number one pass defense, and look what happened last week when he got rocked, Prescott, 5 times. Him and his receivers, the only receiver that he has the last 2 weeks, Tavon Austin, has had a touchdown each game the last 2 weeks. I don't see that, sustaining the team, and he's got to get over that 200-yard hump, which I don't foresee that happening. When you're going against a defense that limits you to 152 a game, I got the Lions definitely. Yeah. Okay, Browns, Raiders. You got the winless team that can't even close out in the second half against a team that won for the first time in 635 days.
I thought it was just unbelievable. The crowd alone, when Baker took the field after Tyrod Taylor went down, you saw the place. It seemed like the whole place lit up. You even saw players, they weren't sitting on the bench no longer. They were all jumping up, getting ready. Something when you get a number one guy and you start putting him in and you see the magic. These guys are seeing the magic probably during the practice, what he was capable of doing. Once he went into the game, it's like everybody was just like, get up, get ready, grab on because this kid's going to take us. And as much as I want Chucky to get his win, I think Chucky gets kicked in the teeth and goes 0-4. And saying Baker Mayfield blows it up. So for the Cleveland Browns, it's been long overdue. I don't remember the last time I heard, Cleveland Browns are 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's been, I think, 3 years since the last time they had back-to-back victories. So yes. I definitely got the Browns winning this week as well. And it's not just with Baker Mayfield. I think Jarvis Landry will definitely have a good day.
Oh, that kid's hands are gold. There's only him and Odell Beckham. Just some of the catches they do are phenomenal.
Both LSU guys.
Yes, they both played. I thought Odell Beckham was even thinking about maybe going to the Browns if he didn't get his deal solidified. I could have seen his boy putting his arm around him, be like, come to Cleveland. Yeah. We can make it happen. And I'm telling you, with Baker, and then you had those two, they could have been definitely doing some damage.
But they got a good array of receivers. They have David Njoku at tight end.
Yes.
They have a Carlos Hyde who was responsible last week for those 2 rushing touchdowns, and Baker being a part of that fake to the left and getting the 2-point conversion. But I definitely like the Browns in this game. And the last time Chucky won, 9 years and 10 months it's been since his first NFL victory, or 3,491 days.
It's going to have to wait another week, Chucky. One more week.
Buffalo heading to Green Bay. I definitely see the Packers winning this. There's no way they go back-to-back losing. This week, on the other hand, the offensive line has to do a good job protecting Rodgers this week for sure, and he's got to be able to be somewhat mobile. And I would like to see the running game improved by the Packers, which I think it will with Aaron Jones.
Right now, your whole season's resting on how his leg feels. Protected at all cost. Bottom line, you don't go in, he goes down, the team goes nowhere.
Yep. So you got the Packers as well.
Yes.
Even though the Bills made the upsetting victory, if they do pull off this victory.
If they pull off this victory, that might change the whole culture up in Buffalo. Josh Allen did come from Wyoming, so he is used to the cold weather. Maybe this is where he thrives in. He's like, hey, I'm old man winter. Brett Favre was in Green Bay. Hey, now I'm in Buffalo, old man winter.
Yeah, he at times gets comparisons to Brett at moments.
Yeah, because they're good in cold weather.
And Seahawks, Cardinals. There hasn't been since 2012, the away team has won in this series. So I see the Seahawks coming in and rocking this Cardinals team in Josh Rosen's first start. Josh, from one Rosen to another, Mazel Tov on your first start this week. As for you against the Seahawks defense, yeah, good luck. You're not
Yeah, I'm going with Seattle, and I think it gets ugly fast.
And furious.
Yes. Rapido furioso.
Definitely. See. Texans, Colts. AFC South rivalry matchup right here. I definitely like the Colts in this one. Barely. Even though Deshaun Watson, they were asking on Will Cain's show, who's more reliable, Deshaun Watson or Andrew Luck? Andrew Luck, I know he's still coming off his shoulder, but you know what? I think in this week, I think he's going to be more reliable this week than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, something about this injury. I don't know. Maybe it's still nagging him. Maybe there's something wrong. It just doesn't look comfortable or right in the pocket.
Yeah, it's just, and even though there are moments where he does make several key plays. He's got Will Fuller. He's got Hopkins this year, though.
Yes, falling off the radar. It seems like everybody's keying in on Fuller.
Exactly. That's he's like the number one target so far this year. I like to see that sort of change a little bit, some balance on that offense. But I think at the end of the day, the Colts will get the victory. And 2 weeks ago, they stopped a team from scoring a touchdown for the first time in years. I hope they build on that Week 2 victory against the Redskins and keep that up against Texans. And finally, 49ers Chargers. I don't know whether to laugh or cry when it comes to the 49ers situation. Yes, they have Matt Breida. They have the number one rushing offense in the league. Don't get me wrong. But without Garoppolo and you have C.J. Beathard and that small sample size of 1-5 from last year, more interceptions than touchdowns, does not matter to me. And I think the Chargers defense, even sans Bosa, are going to be able to stop the 49ers running the ball, force them to throw, which Beathard is going to make mistakes. I get the Chargers.
Bottom line, Chargers, 9 in the box. They're going to bring down the house. They're going to say, you're going to beat us. You got to beat us with the arm. And I just think Bill Belichick looks like a genius. You traded Garoppolo, got all this back, and now the guy's out for the season.
It's just...
He's cashing in, and now someone else who banked everything on this guy is sucking wind, and the general manager is right now under the hot light. Like, we have so much money allotted to this guy, and now he's out for the season. Oof.
Yeah, this is just...
it's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare to watch San Fran this year. You got to feel for Kyle Shanahan, and you got to feel for their general manager, too. It's just, yikes, all the way. And I feel so much for the people of San Francisco that they have to go through this. But if they can pull this victory off, if they can win, that says something right there about the Chargers right there, that they somehow are not able to beat a team that's without their number one QB.
Yes.
And for C.J. Beathard, if he can really take advantage of this opportunity, and he does, and he really thrives, then you got a quarterback controversy coming your way if that happens. But I doubt.
I seriously doubt it. I'll bank big time that they're going to be hurting and looking for. Well, first they have to evaluate when he comes back what type of shape he's in. But if he's all banged up and he's rusty and he's not good, they might have to move on for this real soon and real fast.
Definitely. Well, Corey, thank you as always. This is our edition of the Playbook right here for all theater news. This coming weekend, the Hemlock Theater Company presents Next to Normal, the Tony-nominated show about a dysfunctional family dealing with bipolar and all sorts of issues within the family. It's taking place at the Little Victory tonight, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and Sunday matinee performances. Definitely check on Facebook or call the Little Victory or email littlecvictory16@gmail.com. Productions right now for American Idiot, which is going to be taking place in November. There's rehearsals going for that. Rehearsals for Annie. They just announced the cast. Congratulations to all people and who got involved, who were picked for that show. It's coming up in December. My people at the Staten Island Academy of Performing Arts are going to be doing a show called Laramie Project about the 20-year anniversary of the death of Matthew Shepard. It's going to be taking place October 12th and 13th at the St. Mary's Episcopal, 347 Davis Avenue. And Staten Island Shakespeare just announced their new season for 2018-2019. Congratulations to Ariana on getting on being the director for Antigone. And we also have Judgment Nuremberg, Richard III, and Much Ado About Nothing, and so many other theaters and productions coming up. Corey, you're the man. For Mr. Corey Valdez, who
Thank you.
does it well. For Kenny Graham behind the booth. For all the good, hardworking men and women at CTV, I'm Eric
Making it
Rosen. And he makes it happen every week. For all the hardworking men, Men and Women at CTV. I'm Eric Rosen. I'll see you next week for another episode of the Blitz Zone here on CTV. Peace, Dad. Peace.